Hi guys, Alex here, and today let's find out what tickled my pickle this week. The green energy stuff, which is super exciting. What happened? Back in the 1950s, Russians looked at the sun, who else, and they thought, that's pretty cool, right? You have insane amount of energy created by just smashing two hydrogens together. We have a lot of hydrogen on Earth, so why don't we just do the same? We'll take some hydrogen, smash it together, get some energy, happy days, right? And the idea, kind of why would you do that, is that theoretically speaking, if you take a 1 liter of sea salt water, it has the same amount of energy as 300 liters of petrol. Clearly the maths is working out there, so even if half of it is right, it's still pretty interesting to do. So what is the problem? Well, the sun is pretty big, right? It's huge. It's much bigger than the Earth, of course, and it's much heavier. And the heavier the object is, the more gravity it has. Makes sense. So the sun is very big and it's very heavy. And what happens at the core is that because of all of this pressure and force from the gravity, particles smash together. And they create friction, they create heat, and it's kind of hot in there. So we're talking about 15 million degrees Celsius, which is pretty awesome. We want to do the same here. But the problem is that, and you probably tried it yourself back in, good old days as a child, you take two magnets, you try to put the same poles close together, and it just it doesn't work, right? Because they repel each other. Exactly the same story happens here, because you take two particles with the same charge, they don't want to go close together. So what you need is a lot of force. In the sun, you have that force by gravity, which is happy days, but on Earth, we don't have gravity.
What a twist!
Well, don't have enough of it, right? We're tiny little ball comparison to the sun. So what do we do? Well, the only option left is to increase the temperatures so there's enough energy to smash the particles together. The technology that was developed is called the tokamak, and to oversimplify it ridiculously, all it is a hollow donut. Inside there's vacuum, and outside we have a lot of magnets. How it works is a good question. To oversimplify it, we put hydrogen plasma, which is hot gas of hydrogen nuclei, and electrons separate from each other, degrees Celsius particles in plasma, and the electrons are separate from plasma. So much energy they can be controlled by particles with each other, which is awesome. So we literally are creating a green energy source, which is truly green without any additional waste. The issue is that you need a shit ton of energy to get to that state. Can you imagine getting a gas to 150 million degrees Celsius, how much energy that takes, and then hold it there with the magnets for like hours on end until they start smashing together? And obviously the higher the temperature you get, the more likely they'll start smashing together. So ideally you want to be anywhere between 150 and 300 million degrees and basically see what happens. So that's where we need to be. China is who we're talking about it now. What they managed to do is speed up the plasma in this tokamak to an insane temperature, 120 million degrees Celsius, and kept it there for almost 2 minutes, 101 seconds to be precise. Can you imagine 120 million degrees Celsius for a minute and a half just swirling around in there? And scientists are like, shit, it's pretty cool. The technology is there and we're developing it, and it looks like maybe in the next decade or two we would be able to live in a world where we could create an insane amount of energy out of just fusing hydrogen. This is it for this week's What Tickled My Pickle. I hope I tickled some of your pickles with my news. If I did, hit that like button. If I didn't, you can hit the dislike button. Any engagement counts. If you have anything to say to me and you are not happy about anything that I did, or you're very happy and excited, put it in the comments below. That'll be super cool. I would love to see your thoughts. If you want to, subscribe to this channel. If you don't, guess what? Don't. I will try to release a video every other week in the same kind of format, sharing the news that tickles my pickle. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. We gotta make them right, chillin' with mine. We triple up, they on a double up, triple dub. Came from the basement, we only going up. They loving us. Up in the booth, I'm getting dizzy, but they the cup is up. Toast to my people that's on the come up, and you live with us.